Hi everyone and welcome to the Flowbonacci channel. My name is Fabio and I want to share here my passion for dragon stuff with you. And in this video I want to show you the rewind move. Rewind is how to say? Rewind is a very easy to make, cute, short sequence. It's a short move, a short flower. You can add to your flow if you want to make something cute. Let's break it down. The first thing you want to learn to be able to do this move is to learn how to float. Floating is just balancing your dragon staff from one back of the hand to another without rolling for the moment. Floating is really this moment where your dragon staff is floating, and it's called floating. Practice this throwing, balancing. You can touch your leg with the other end. And you want the floating side of your dragon to be over your head, because later we're going to go under that part. So you want your dragon to float over your head. Without rolling for the moment. The positioning of your back of the hand, of your point of contact regarding your center is very important. The closer you will be from your center, the more slow will be the floating and the less control you'll have on it. If you go a little bit more further from the center, floating will be very different, shorter, but you will have more control. So find the sensation you want and find your distance regarding the center that allows you to have a comfortable float. My hand stance is a little bit wider than my shoulders. Shoulders would be here. I'm comfortable with that stance. So practice this floating exercise and first find your end stance, the distance you want to be comfortable in your float. Once you're comfortable with the non-rolling floating move, you will want your dragon to begin rolling on your hands. Here, the trick is to visualize from which point A to which point B your dragon pole will roll on the back of your hand. And it will roll as your dragon will gonna roll away from you. Your dragon will roll from your wrist to the point of your fingers. So you want this distance to be available, which means when you're floating your dragon, you want to land on your wrist, let it roll, and when it will be close to the end of your fingers, you want to toss and land on your wrist again. So you can train that by just guiding your dragon, just holding, not holding, just guiding and helping it to roll from close to my fingers, toss, wrist, roll again, toss, wrist, rolling to my fingers, toss, wrist, rolling to my fingers. Once you're uncomfortable with one hand, you can do the other side. Wrist, guiding, toss. Wrist, fingers, toss. Ring, fingers, toss. Wrist, fingers, toss. Wrist, rolling, fingers, toss. Wrist, rolling, fingers, toss. practice that, the legs are helping a lot. Don't hesitate to pump. Don't hesitate to pump with your legs, so you don't have to force on your arms to throw the dragon. It can be done by just pumping with your legs. And once you're comfortable with this, you will have your dragon rolling on your both ends. So you want to start asymmetrically, which means on my left hand, my dragon will be on my wrist. On my right hand, my dragon will be on my fingers. And this is on my right side I'm gonna throw because it's on my fingers. Fingers on the right, wrist on the left. Throwing. The only thing you got to focus on is landing on your wrist. Tossing on your fingers will come naturally, but when you land, you want to land on your wrist. Then let it roll and toss again. Land on your wrist, roll, toss again. So practice this balance. Use your legs. You want amplitude and focus on landing on your wrist. Now that you get your floating move on your belt, we're gonna break down what is a rewind. Rewind is your dragon going on your left and coming back. This is why I named it a rewind, because it goes and it comes back. Goes and rewind. What is happening there? To understand, we're gonna hold the dragon with two hands. So you're gonna throw your dragon and it's gonna float over your head. Here, easy, I'm holding. Once I tossed my black head, I'm gonna come to grab my dragon over my other hand, free my left hand to land my dragon with my palm facing the sky and coming back over. Grabbing here, free my right hand. This is rewind. Holding with your left, throwing, catching, landing, palm facing the sky, and rewind. Back of my hand. Again. Back of my hand, throwing, floating, my right hand comes to grab my dragon, my left gonna land, my dragon palm facing the sky, and rewind, grabbing, landing on the back of my hand. So practice this move. Now that you got the theory, instead of holding my dragon, I'm going to just guiding it with making a circle. It's free, so it can move, it can float, and it's going to be interesting. And you just want to have a circle between your thumb and your first finger to guide your dragon. And we will do, and you will do, the same exercise, which is back of the hand on my right, guiding, I'm breaking it down, guiding, landing, guiding. So you see here that my dragon staff can float. I'm just guiding it, I'm not holding it, just guiding. Guiding, guiding, landing. Tossing, guiding, landing. Palm facing the sky, palm facing down. Just guiding. Legs are important to toss. Practice this. Make yourself comfortable with the floating over your head movement. Once you're comfortable with the guide folding, we're gonna do it without rolling, but in real condition, not guiding, not holding, back of the hands. The rewind I am demonstrating right now is starting from my right arm, right side. Toss from my right and land on my left palm facing the sky. And instead of having my guiding position, I'm having my dragon on my back of the hand, and you're gonna just switch hands. So you got this floating moment, and during this floating moment, you're gonna swap hand. My right will come, and my left. This is the rewind secret trick. This is the key point to understand. Back of my right hand, left facing the sky, and rewind. Once again, with dragon staff, this is a question of timing. So this exercise, rewind without rolling, is very important to be practiced. You will have to be able to get this timing right, to be comfortable with your dragon going over your head and having time to switch your hands. Practice. Next step, your dragon staff will begin to roll, and you will use the technique that we have seen in the beginning of this video, which is rolling from a point A to a point B, which is A, the wrist, B, the end of the fingers, and toss. So you'll begin to make your dragon staff roll, and we're gonna use the guiding technique again to understand. As we've seen in the beginning of this tutorial, your dragon staff is always rolling from a point A to a point B. When it's gonna roll away, wrist, rolling, fingers. I'm gonna toss, float over my head, change my guiding hand, and it's gonna land here. My dragon gonna roll towards me. So I want to land on my fingers. So it's gonna roll towards until the beginning of my hand. When my dragon staff is reaching the beginning of my palm, I'm gonna toss, rewind over my head, change my guiding hands, land on my wrists, and do it again. Wrists, fingers, toss, float, change my hand, landing, fingers rolling towards me, beginning of my palm, toss, wrist, rolling, fingers, toss, float, landing, fingers, rolling towards, palm, rewind, wrist, fingers, toss, fingers, wrist, toss. And now we're gonna do it for real. So you're gonna place your dragon on your right side, on your fingers, on your left hand on your wrist. You're gonna float while you're tossing your dragon on your left hand. Your dragon will roll from your wrist to your fingers. One, my black head is over my head. I'm gonna switch. Fingers here, landing on my fingers on my left. So basically when it's rolling towards me, it's finger, finger. One, it's reaching my palm on my left. I'm gonna toss and rewind. Rewind. Change my hand. Wrist, wrist. Fingers, fingers. Wrist, wrist. Roll, toss, fingers, fingers. Fingers, fingers, oops, palm facing the sky. Overhead, rewind. Once again, timing. Be flexible, relax your shoulders. Rotate your upper body, make yourself comfortable. Wrist, wrist, rolling away, tossing, finger, finger, rolling. And you get your rewind. Very interesting. very satisfying from my point of view. And it's time for the Flowbo promo. Flowbonacci is a brand I launched in 2017. This dragon staff is the Tri-Ying design, and I got another design which is more mesmerizing in a spiral shape. If you're interested in learning more about this dragon staff, you can check my website. I'll drop a link in the description of this video. Now that you got the rewind move, the question is how to get into this move. Starting, for example, from a classic chi-roll, rolling away, paddling backward. All you'll have to do is doing a little toss to synchronize, to have at some point your dragon staff pole landing on your two wrists. And then, as we've seen before, you're gonna toss and rewind. And of course, you can trigger a rewind from your left side. Wrist, wrist, rewind. My left again, my right, and back to a classic chi-roll. Chi-roll, slow rolling, tossing, wrist, wrist, trigger my rewind, and coming back. Tossing, wrist, wrist, and back. Oops. Now I'm going to show you a little flow where I'm going to use this rewind move. I really loved this floating moment. It's like putting a flower on a table. It's a detail, but it's funky. I like it. Hope you like it too. And that's it for the rewind tutorial. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you like this. I hope you like this move, and I hope you're gonna make it yours. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel so you'll get noticed when there are new videos popping out. Keep it spinning and have fun.